Good evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Singleton, and I come to you live Monday evenings. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have not been here for like 4 weeks, I think. I think my last live was April 20th or something, or April, something like that. So I think it's been a whole month. But I was preparing to go on vacation. We were gone from like May 1st. So I think my last live was that Monday, it was like that Monday before my weekend that I was gone. So it was like a whole month. It was crazy. Anyways, so we were on, my sister and I went on a cruise. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. We had the best time. We took time off to go on a 8-day cruise. So we left like on a Friday, flew to Florida, got on the ship Saturday morning. So we flew Friday, got on the ship Saturday. We got off the ship on Sunday, was the next Sunday. So we were gone 8 days on our cruise. It was amazing. So we flew home on Mother's Day, which was interesting. It was crazy. Long days, long days, but absolutely worth it and quite amazing. So it was just her and we had a fabulous time. So we went to the Caribbean and um, we went to Caracas, which was a beautiful island, and then we went to where else did we go? We went to Caracas. Went to Thank you, Mom. I know I missed you a lot too, and I've been so busy this week. I've been trying to get over. Had like 3 doctor's appointments. Milt had his surgery, and then oh my gosh, it's been so busy. So I've tried to get over to see you, and my schedule just hasn't allowed me to like take time out. So hopefully maybe next week I have a few things going on with the kids, but hopefully next week I can come over and I can see you and tell you all about our trip because it was so amazing. I wanted to do that, but it was just so much fun. We did enjoy ourselves. We had a great time. We did some sightseeing and did some really fun trips off the ship, and then had some time on the ship that we just, sat around and did nothing. Oh well, actually did some things on the ship and had a great time. Just really enjoyed it, and just we had so much fun. And celebrating, our birthdays together, and then just, chatting for a whole week with no interruptions, which is what was fun because we don't ever get to do that. So, those are the things that, we look forward to doing and being able to do and don't get the opportunity to do. So that was so much fun, just spending a whole week, nobody else. So that was definitely a lot of fun and super enjoyable. So I came back and I tried to figure out what I wanted to work on for card making. And I realized that when I left, I did the same card suite, but I actually did a different card. So I used the same suite that I used when I was there before. So the suite, I guess because I'm super drawn to this suite and I haven't really ordered anything else. So it's called the Unbounded Beauty Suite Collection. And this collection is absolutely gorgeous. And there's so much to this suite collection if you buy the whole collection, and it is beautiful. And I was just playing with it again because I saw so many gorgeous things that can be done with it. And I did a fun fold this time with it, and I did different paper. So let me show you. Let me kind of switch you over. So this suite collection is big. It's gorgeous. If you do the whole suite collection, you get 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets, which is amazing. And then you get 2 different papers. So you get this beautiful sparkle paper, which I haven't used yet. I almost used it on this one. And then you get these beautiful paper that I've already used some of this when I did my other one. So I'm going to use the other sides of this paper. And I'm going to use different sets of this paper than I did the last time. So last time I used this paper, and I'm going to use different paper because it's so pretty and you can use so many different papers to this. So I decided to do a fun fold paper. This is in your catalogs 54 and 55. And then if you turn the pages, this one doesn't show you, but because it showed you on this. I haven't quite learned this catalog yet. I'm getting there. But this suite is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the card that I made the first time around, I had to do this colors because these are beautiful colors. I, of course, did the purple ones. So this is the belly band. And this paper is just gorgeous. And I put, may all your wishes come true. That's the belly band that goes on there. And then this is the fun fold. And you open it up and I wrote happy birthday. I stamped the happy birthday. But this paper is beautiful. I'm just loving this flower paper that goes with it. But this is the fun fold. And then you put the belly band on. So what I did was I used the designer series paper on almost all of it. This is the one that is just got the happy birthday and then one of the stamps, that's the flower. And then you still have room to write. And then here is, you can use the designer series paper, but the other side of this paper is also gorgeous. And you could do that. So and I didn't think about that until later. So you could just cut out this piece, which is the other side of this, and just use this piece on here. And you could do that, which I actually did on the other card we were making. I'm going to use another side of another piece of designer paper, not the same one, because the same one actually is green. I don't know why they did that, but you could use this side of this, and that would also look really pretty with this. So this is what it would look like if you use that side. So you could do that. So that would also look beautiful too. So you could do that as well. And I didn't think of it, but all I did was I just stamped a whole bunch of the flowers with the stamp set from there. So the stamps that I'm using most of is this one, is the Flowers of Beauty, which is included in the suite section. So the suite section, the suite is, you get the Unbound Love, which is all the stamp sayings basically, and then the Flowers of Beauty is like all the flower stamps. Thank you. So this is all the sayings, and then this is the flowers, which is really kind of nice too. So you can do either one. So this one, I just did the belly band and we just stamped it. So that just looks kind of pretty too, because it doesn't take away from anything. Not that this takes away, but you can do either or. And that paper, I just love it. Also, you could do the purple, instead of the purple coloring, you could do this color, which is probably the Shy Shamrock, which would also be pretty. So I decided to take and use a different color scheme for our second card, just because this paper is gorgeous. All the papers in this, of course, is beautiful. So I decided to use this paper. I think is beautiful as well. I love it. I'm just drawn again to it, and it's peach pie is this color in here. But I didn't want to use peach pie coloring, so it also goes with the oh my goodness, I just forgot, our Calypso Coral, which I think is beautiful. I used that a lot last season, but it still is in the catalog. So I think this Calypso Coral goes beautiful, and it just brings it out even more. So I got everything out. So let's get going with what our cuts are. It's super easy, very easy to make. So you're going to cut your piece of cardstock, and you're going to cut it. Where's my measurements here? So you're going to cut it. So you have your piece of 11, and you're going to cut it at 5.5. And then you're going to score it at 1.25. And then you're going to score it at 5.5. And then you're going to score it at 9 1/4, and that's going to make all your score marks for you. So you're 5 1/2. You're going to fold that in half. That makes your little card mark. And then fold this. And if you fold it and it's not right, you just fold it the other way because I don't ever remember which way they go. And fold this one this way, and that might be wrong, so we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, I folded it wrong. So you just fold this back because you're going to fold it so that it makes it. See how I had this way? You just have to fold it back this way, and then that makes your double folds. So again, you folded it wrong. You just fold it the other way. So now we're going to fold them, crease them, crease them. So it's super easy. So then that's our folding mechanism. But it doesn't really matter. So there we go. And then that will fit inside the envelope. So that'll go inside the envelope. Because that's our 5 1/2. All right, so get that back out. Now, the color of this cardstock of the same color is 10. This is 10 by 1 1/4. That's going to be our belly band. And then a piece of the DSP this is 1 1/8 by 10, which seems kind of weird because you don't want it to be the same. So I ended up cutting it off a little bit because you don't want it to be all the way the same. So I ended up cutting it off a little bit because you don't want it to be 10, which this is 10. So I ended up cutting it off some so that it does have a little bit at the ends. And then 1 1/8, which gives it your sides. Then you need a piece of the same cardstock. And this is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. This is going to make our little piece that we're going to go on the belly band. And then, oops, here's our piece of white that's going to go on here. And that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Sorry, I gave that to you wrong. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and the white is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Sorry, the measurements are in the comments. I apologize. So that's going to go on there like that. And then for when you cut your DSP, you're going to cut a piece that's going to be 7 1/2 by 5 1/4. So you're going to have a piece that's going to look like this. Oh, where did my other 2 pieces go? Like 2 pieces look like this. And I need another piece like this. Because you actually cut 2 of these. Oh, there we go. Flung away. So your piece will look like this. This is your 7 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then you put it in your trimmer and you cut at 1 1/2. And then you cut at 4. And then that leaves you with a 2-inch piece. And then you cut that 2-inch piece at 1 inch, and that gives you 2 1-inch pieces, okay? And then you need a piece, that's our other DSP piece, and that should be it. Oh no. So on the inside, you need a piece of white. That's going to go over here. That's your white piece, and that is 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, I believe. Where did I put my white piece? Yeah, 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's going to go over here. So then what I did for this piece is I cut a piece. See, this side is green. Yeah, that's not going to go. So inside our paper pack, there is a piece that is this color, which I thought goes very nicely. So instead of stamping, sorry, my edges. Instead of stamping, I'm going to use this piece. Is the opposite of this piece. I did some kind of different, but it does go. It does match this, and it does match this, so I think it'll go nice. So this piece is the same as the white piece, so it's 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm gonna glue that on there rather than stamping. So I'm gonna do that. But see, I think it will go nicely. So I'm gonna do some gluing, but we're gonna stamp on this and stamp on that, so we're not gonna glue that. So what we're gonna glue first is we're going to glue our DSP on here. So we're going to glue this DSP. Going to go here. Glue is almost out, so I got to put it back in its box or it won't. All right, now let's fold this so I know. So this big piece is going to go here. I always like to open it up because it makes it easier for me to glue it on. I had to make sure I was gluing on which piece. So I hope everybody's had a nice week and weekend. I've been taking care of well, he hasn't needed me to do much, but my husband had minor surgery. So he has just been sitting on the couch, and he is not a person to sit on the couch, so he's not like that at all. So he gets the catheter out Wednesday, so he'll be happy about that. And he goes back to work part-time. All right, so then we're going to put these two little pieces are going to go on the inside and the outside. So let's put the inside one on. And these kind of have a way to go, but so you want your flowers to kind of be up. Yeah, my glue is getting to the end. We played bingo on the ship. That was fun. They played like 3 games. We were gonna hopefully win like $5,000, but no, did we? No, we did not. But it was still fun anyways. Buy-in was only $59, so I mean that was not too horrible. So that was pretty fun. What else did we do? Oh, we watched movies out on the deck. That was a lot of fun. Get to see it on the big old screen and sit there and be out on the deck. And it's nice and, well, it wasn't warm for me, but Jeannie said it was too hot for her, but that was pretty fun. So I sat with a towel on me. I sat by the door so that every time the door opened, the cold air came out. So that was a lot of fun. Nice to see a movie on the big old screen. All right, now let's glue this DSP onto our belly band. So when we're ready to put that on, you can do that. All right. Also, let's glue this piece on. So this is going to go in here. So this piece is going to go here. So let's glue this piece here. So we have all the pieces glued on. And then we'll do some stamping. Now, I already did some of the stamping. I did a little bit of the all right, so okay, so now we have all of the DSP on. Yeah, see, that looks really nice too. Okay, so we are going to stamp happy birthday on here. And I'm going to stamp it in the peach pie. And since I don't have that big, long flower, I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle. Yeah. Now, we do have some little flowers that come in this set. We also have some of these big flowers. And these are two-step flowers. So you stamp this and then you stamp that on top of it. And that kind of fills it in. And I did that on the little flowers and I didn't like it as much. I'm going to just stamp this. I'll show you. I'll stamp them both. But I'm going to stamp mostly just this one because that's the one that I like. So let's see, which one is this one? Okay. And you can do however you want first. You can stamp this part. See, and that's that stamp. And then you're supposed to stamp this stamp and then over it. And probably the part is that I don't know, it's hard to line them up again. And I don't know how you line them up. Because I'm bad at that. And so I just got this stamp set out. And so I don't know. So there. So I am going to do another one and I'm going to just do that plain and see the difference. You filled it in, so it's like you colored it in, and that one's just like it's plain. So you can do it either way, but since I did that one, I'm going to color this one in too, because otherwise it'll look funky. But I just don't know how to figure out how this goes. I don't know. Okay. So at least it got some little doodads on there. Then it's not completely blank. So we'll close this up. No, we're going to stamp may all your wishes come true on my little white piece out here. All right, and I think, again, I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle-ish. There we go. I guess I'm going to stamp it a little bit over more, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to put that on. I'm going to glue that on my This is going to glue on the inside. Ta-da! Our cute little. All right, now to do our belly band part, you just take this and just, sorry, I'm not in the camera, and you just figure out where you want it to wrap around. And you don't want it super tight because you want to be able to get it on and off. So that's about how you want it. So then you can just put a dab of glue on the back. Make sure it's kind of lined up. Press that a little bit. Now I should have thought, because I wanted to kind of angle this. So I wanted this to be angled a little bit. I guess I still could. That looks okay, I suppose. I wanted to angle this one, but I should have stamped it, stamp it at an angle, but I think that still would look okay. So I want to put this on my belly band, but I'm going to tip it over and I'm going to try and figure out where I can glue my belly band on without gluing everything. So thinking that's just about where I want. Ah, it moved on me. All right, let's let that sit for a second. Let me get my mini dimensionals out because I'm going to put some flowers on there. I could have moved it down a little bit. So I cut the flowers out with the, I stamped them like I stamped the flowers on the inside. And then I die cut them because we do have the die cut. I put the die cuts in the other room, so sorry. I die cut these out with the die cut. See, I did some of them, like we just double did those, and I did some plain. So I'm going to put my mini dimensionals on these. And we are going to put those on. Put them on here. All right. I could have probably put more, but I'm just going to stick one on there. All righty. There we go. I don't know that I had the position of those, but that's how it's going to be for right now. All right. There we go. And then we do have dots that we can put on. These are the in color dots that come with the set. Come off my finger. There we go. I do kind of like that. So where's the one I made earlier? Did I bury it? I must have buried it. All right, so this is the card we made just now, and then this is the card that I made earlier. I think they both turned out pretty good, actually. I do kind of like them. All right, so if you need anything, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to help you. I will figure out something new to use, not these. I didn't realize I used the same set, but I did use different, and I did make a fun fold instead. So I will try and figure out something different for next week. And I will see you guys next Monday. Thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate it. And have a great rest of your night. Thank you. Bye-bye.